This is Tony, Dungeon Master of D&D Raw. And before we begin, I just wanted to say, if you enjoy D&D Raw, we would love it if you would support us on Patreon to hear new exclusive content and updates before anyone else. By contributing as little as $1 per month, patrons enable us to dedicate more time to creating episodes. Our higher level patrons get access to DM's notes, outtakes from our episodes, the chance to add an item or NPC to a D&D Raw episode, and even to join our monthly patron game. We wanted to thank all of our Adventure tier and above patrons for their support this month. So thank you Jeremy Kleinhans, a Linux fan, and Dark Queasy, and a very special thanks to our producer tier patron Roy for serving as a producer on this episode. To find out more about how you can join this list of outstanding people, go to patreon.com/DNDRaw. If you're not able to support D&D Raw on Patreon, we would love it if you leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Now on to episode 8 of Rumble Squad. Not angry, just disappointed. With me today are the following players.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing Luven Cromdell, the half-elf alchemist artificer.
Hey, I'm Jane. I will be playing Nissa Turin, the gnome arcane trickster rogue.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I will be playing Orc Fireforge, the Dwarven Forge Cleric.
Hey, I'm Rachel, and I will be playing Elean Fox, the human druid barbarian.
Last time, the party confronted the six-armed creature known as a spellweaver, and though he got away, the party was able to defeat his hobgoblin bodyguards, however, with some difficulty. Looking through the lab at Avelios' house, Auric learned of the location Avelios may have hid. Luven read up on alchemical experiments, Nissa found a couple items of interest, and Elean recovered from some serious injuries. Though the whole party did not agree, they began to try and catch up to the spellweaver when they were confronted by the tiger who had been following them, only to reveal it was in fact Vashti, who had just finished saying that perhaps she could help.
Yeah, we're in a hurry.
What is it that you are doing?
Against our better judgment, we are chasing after a...
Spellweaver.
Spellweaver, they say. Anyways, we're chasing after this thing. He killed some people. They're pretty... Well, we don't know he killed anybody, actually. Probably killed somebody. Definitely his hobgoblins, though, tried to kill us. I'm not a fan.
The hobgoblins are not welcome on my land. And this creature, she looks over at Eunice, a spellweaver?
Yes, spellweaver.
It is an entity I am not fond of. Nature does not abide by it. I can sense his presence here, and she nods towards the northwest. I believe he was headed in that direction.
Aye, that's what the book lead me to believe as well.
Elean, you're noticing now that before there weren't a lot of animals in the area, having avoided, but now you're hearing a lot more birds and all that just circling about.
Okay.
He is not welcome on my lands, but I do not dare challenge him, for I have seen he is a powerful caster of sorts, and I cannot deal with such a caster on my own.
Well, now you got us.
Assuming he is still on my lands. Yes.
How far do your lands stretch?
Several miles in every direction around Isenthias.
He's most likely still on your lands, then.
It is almost night soon, but Rogoam is not safe at night. Are you sure you wish to pursue this?
No.
What we wish and what we need to do are two separate things at this point, I believe.
One thing we should probably do is get past all these hunting traps before it gets dark.
Very well. That's simple enough. She points at the leaves, and Nissa, you remember from looking out. And
Question about these hunting traps.
yes.
How quick and hard are they to collect?
With Nissa's mage hand and with your knowledge of hunting traps as it is, you could probably take you like a minute or so per trap.
I'm gonna look to the group.
They're heavy, though.
Points to Auric.
Just so you're aware,
They're
are
also
heavy.
made of metal, I'm assuming.
Yep.
It might benefit us to collect them quickly and take them with us as we are going into a tunnel. We could lay them on our way in, and perhaps if he tries running again, it might slow him down or stop him.
Question
I like
for
it.
the DM.
Yes.
Do we remember, were we able to see his feet at all under the robes to determine if he's actually walking? Or
He is walking. You heard footsteps. His robes, though, like, hit the floor and, like, trailed slightly behind. So you never actually saw his feet, but you did hear his footsteps.
Okay. Basically, I'm trying to determine if he just floats everywhere or if he actually walks.
He walks.
Whether or not they would potentially be effective.
Nissa actually might have seen his feet because,
I'm little.
but...
I mean, do you guys think we have 15, 20 minutes to collect these really quick and then continue on our way? I think they would be useful to us.
I like
How
that
many
idea.
traps are there?
I mean, it would take you some time to determine for sure, but you have at least like 6 that you noticed immediately.
Yeah. And I'm not thinking of saying we're going to go through and like scavenge to get them all, just a couple that we can throw down in the entrance to the tunnel when we go in so that hopefully we might have an element of surprise if he tries to run again because, I'm not a fan and I don't want him getting away again.
If we know of 6, we could just get those then.
Each one weighs 25 pounds, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're heavy.
I could probably carry 1 or 2 at least.
I know you still have some carrying capacity. I don't think Nissa you can really carry many because I know you're. What's your strength?
9 minus 1.
Oh yeah. I think you can carry a max of like 70 pounds, maybe less.
Oh, mine's a 13.
So you can carry like.
Was it 13 times 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 14.
So I could probably carry 2 or 3 and then Oric could carry the rest.
Yeah, just Nissa because she's small. So whatever she can carry is half of what you guys can carry at the same strength weight.
Mine's a 12 if y'all need me to carry a 1.
And that's just, having it on your person. Like, you can drag them.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get that started real quick. We'll go ahead and get those disabled and loaded up real quick. Vashti, are you definitely planning on helping us, or is this a maybe?
As long as he is on my lands, I can help you. If he has crossed over into another's territory, that is a different story.
If it's another's territory, would they be able and willing to help if you know of this other person?
It depends on the person. There are several different guardians of the lands around. I simply stay around Ascenthias, but I have cooperative relationships with some. I am not hostile towards any in particular, but some do not like others on their lands.
Just, I'm wondering if there'd be any historical context to maybe knowing how this guardianship system works.
You can attempt a history check.
Okay.
It's going to be tough just because not a lot of people know a lot about the Rigorum.
Don't worry about it.
What was it?
9?
Probably someone just walks around and makes sure that things are okay. Park
Cool.
ranger style.
All right.
Vashti, would it be helpful, I guess would be the term, to send word in some form to the neighboring lands of this creature, warning them that he is headed at least in that direction we know of?
I could attempt something. Without knowing which one it is, however.
We have a guess he's going to these tunnels. What if that's still in your realm, or whatever would be north of that would be our guess.
So you're explaining to her where you'd learned they were?
Yeah.
Okay. You see her making some mental calculations. That is beyond my lands if he is already there. That is the Lady of Spirits. Our relationship is not necessarily pleasant, but I cannot go on her lands. She would allow you, potentially, as long as you do not harm any of the natural beasts there.
Would she be an ally to the spellweaver?
Doubtful, but I cannot say for certain. I am not sure what her purpose is. On her lands, she seems to simply know who is there, and I have never seen her in the same form twice. She seems to simply speak through the wind itself.
Would you be okay with accompanying us to the edge of your lands?
That I would have no problem with. I would simply make sure that, should you ever encounter the lady, be cautious. I have seen her destroy a dozen orcs without a second's hesitation.
Awesome.
Neat.
All right, let's get those traps and then get on our way. I guess we can talk while we're on our way.
Okay. So, because you had already dealt with the trap before Nissa and got a chance to study it, I'm going to say you don't have to roll.
Yes.
With your mage hand and with Elean, having used hunting traps, you are able to slowly disarm each one carefully, and from there, Oric and Elean can detach it from the ground as it's connected by a chain and a spike and take them with you. So you have 6 hunting traps split amongst you.
Nice. Awesome.
Takes you the better part about 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
So after that, you guys head north?
Yeah, while we're heading north, I do want to at some point pull Luven aside. You and your alchemy business. And I'll point to one of the traps probably dangling off my backpack. Is there any poison you could put on these?
You know, I bet I could. I'll fiddle with one while we're walking here.
It's going to be tough to do it while you're walking, but you can attempt an alchemist tools check with dexterity, but it will be difficult since you're moving.
Okay.
So, Tony, do we know about how many hours north of us this tunnel is?
You figured it would be a few hours. It would definitely be night by the time you get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 2 to 3.
Would we be able to go at like a fast pace now that we have Vashti to help guide us through her lands?
You would not be able to make stealth checks, but you could attempt a fast pace as long as someone is helping Vashti make a path through the woods.
Or can do that.
Okay. So, Oric, go ahead and make a survival check for me, and Vashti will do the same. Luven, your check is going to be more difficult at a fast pace, just so you're aware.
18.
Nice.
Okay. Nissa, what are you doing during all of this?
Trying to keep an eye out on surroundings, trying to make sure nothing kind of jumps out at us, but also keeping an eye on what Luven and Elean are doing, partly kind of out of interest to see exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it, and just in case Luven runs into any mishaps with the trap.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
That's a humongous 8.
I'll give you my total on the dex check as well in case it affects this.
What is the dexterity check?
13.
Okay. It is really tough, especially moving at a fast pace, to be trying to combine, what limited ingredients you still have. You're pretty sure you're not going to have anything ready to put on by the time you get to where the tunnels are supposed to be at this rate. We'll say an hour has gone by as you guys are rushing.
Question. Would Mage Hand have been able to help him?
I was going to ask, would I be able to cast guidance on him?
We can do it for the next hour.
Okay.
But the first hour, you don't make any progress, and you know that you're going to need more time than that at this rate.
I voiced that, this is pretty hard.
Oric, real quick. You're making actually good progress, I'll say this, because both you and Vashti actually rolled very well. But because of, you guys are making a lot of noise, by the way, getting through, because you're focused on speed. So lots of clanging of armor. Nissa, you're still pretty quiet, and so are you, Elean, just because you guys don't have armor that makes a lot of noise. But you're making good time. Nissa, your perception overall, because of the speed that you have to keep up with everybody else, you're more looking out for roots and vines that might trip you up rather than potential danger or Luven's own work. But you keep glancing to the side to make sure he's okay. Luven, the speed at which you guys are moving is just starting to cause you to jostle a little bit. You never spill any of your chemicals on yourself, fortunately.
Or on me, I hope.
Or on Elean, as she is trying to help you. But it's jostling you a little too much. You need a little steadier surface right now if you want to try and complete something before you get there.
If we were to stop, how long do I estimate I would need? Like a couple minutes, probably.
Oh, no, the better part of an hour.
I tell Elean basically that.
You know that the spellweaver already has a few hours up on you guys.
Yeah.
And we also took a short rest as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I'll continue walking and kind of present it to the group because I'm torn.
We can say you guys are doing this towards the end of that first hour as you guys are making some good progress.
At least starting to realize. What do you guys think?
I can try and give some guidance if you want to try again, but I don't think that we should stop.
Lay it on me. Let's try it.
All right. So we're gonna keep going, unless Nissa, you're gonna protest.
No, I'll go along with what's been said, and maybe suggest using Mage Hand as well. Try that as we go along.
Okay, so you guys are both assisting Luven.
Yep.
And I cast guidance on him.
Oric, can you roll me one more survival check?
Yep.
I rolled one for Vashti. What's the total?
Total is 9.
Okay, you're having a bit more difficulty. Vashti is trying to make up for your lack because I rolled a natural 20. So it winds up balancing it out, honestly, overall. So you guys are actually still making pretty good progress. Oric, you realize you're not contributing as much, but you're still pushing forward. Luven, go ahead and roll with advantage and add a d4, another dex check with the double proficiency.
Cool.
As divine energy courses through you, and you feel a little steadier.
19.
Okay. You are nearly done with it by the time you reach that second hour, but by the end of that second hour, Vashti stops and says, I apologize, this is the end of my lands. The area you're looking for is but 10 minutes that way, and she nods towards the northeast, based off of the trail you guys were heading in.
I will nod to Vashti. Thank you very much for your help. Again, if there's anything else you can do to help us with this, send word or, put out a call for help, that would be much appreciated.
I did. Don't worry. I sent a messenger bird into the woods. The very least, the Lady of Spirits knows that the spellweaver is here.
Okay.
I will stay along this border, just in case. I apologize, I cannot be of more help.
Do you have any recommendations in case we run into her?
Be respectful. Do not try to engage her. And no matter what happens, no matter what beast you encounter, do not harm anything natural within her realm.
Does that include if it attacks us?
Do not harm anything natural within her realm.
Okay.
She values the natural beasts more than she values your lives.
That's good to know.
It is dark now. Do you have a light source? Because Elean, now at this point, you can't see.
If I'm in the middle, it's okay.
So, Luven, by the time you reach where the tunnels are supposed to be, you will have a small vial of some poison. However, you did use some of the last stores of your herbs that you have to craft some of this stuff. You know you will have to either buy or collect additional items going forward.
Oh, I'm planning on it.
Quick question. The poison he made, about how many traps do we think it'll go on?
You could probably get it on 2 of the traps.
Okay, just so we know.
Once it's on the trap, it'll last for about an hour or until it essentially has been used.
Cool beans. All right, I guess we keep going. I will stand behind Oric and or Nissa, I'm assuming, and Luven, you want to stay in the back?
Yes, please.
All right. Best of luck to you. The Nightmare Clan has been around lately. They are not welcome on the Lady of Spirits lands as far as I was aware, but be careful with them.
Who is this? What?
Nightmare Clan?
My apologies. The Nightmare Skull Clan. It is the clan of orcs that you have engaged before.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Orcs.
So she be no fan of orcs either.
No, I slaughtered the ones that you did not. The ones that killed the deer.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that a slight against us?
Yeah, that's
Go for it.
12.
She doesn't seem particularly pleased that you did not avenge the animal.
It's fair, but still, we had pressing matters.
She's not 100% against you for it, but you can tell that she's not particularly pleased about it. It's like I am upset, but I do still understand.
I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You probably visibly see Elean, bite her lower lip, ooh.
Whereas Nissa's like, whatever.
You wouldn't take the spellweaver, but you'll take on these guys.
Priorities, lady.
I was about to say, you don't say anything, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Definitely look agitated at the slight. Okay, we'll continue.
She does notice you and just, my apologies, I am very protective of my lands, so when animals are killed unnecessarily, I do not appreciate it. However, I am pleased that you did not engage with the constrictor snake that was clearly lying in wait for you.
Still biting my tongue. We should go. We can't waste much more time.
Be cautious. This area that the lady guards has an unnatural presence about it.
Perhaps we should go at a slower pace than we had been getting up to this point. That way we can be more awares.
That might be a safer bet.
All right, let's continue on then, guys.
Best of luck to you.
Thank
Again, if you require anything, get back to my lands. I can protect you here, but beyond that, I apologize.
I attempt to take in exactly where the border is.
Okay. We'll say you study it for a little bit.
Okay.
Yep. Are we gonna try to stealth or just move slow?
Well, I figured we would just move at normal pace. That way we don't take any penalties and stuff to perception.
Okay.
Yes, but you cannot stealth.
Right.
Okay, as long as you're aware. So, what are you guys doing? You guys are just moving up? You guys, I assume, based off what you just said, Oric is going to be on the lookout for things.
Yes.
What are the rest of you doing as you're moving up?
I would be untying the traps from my pack and basically getting the things I need ready for them so that once we get there, I can just stake them down as quick as possible and get Luven to throw the poison on.
Okay. You know it would be very dangerous to have it set while you're moving?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's still closed.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that everything is kind of where it needs to be so that once we get there, I can basically throw it down, spike it down, and then set it. Kind of motion.
Okay. And you're right behind Oric?
No, I was going to let Nissa be right in front of me. I want to make sure she doesn't trip or anything because she's small.
Yes, you want to make sure she doesn't trip because she can see.
But she is short. If
She
she
is
can
short.
make it over and she can see, then I'm fine.
Yes.
So in terms of marching order, I'm right behind Elean then?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So, Auric, you're leading the way
Yep.
because you do have the book and the notations as to where this is. Nissa's right behind, Elaine behind that, and Luven at the back. Nissa, what are you doing?
Probably trying to keep an eye out with Auric and maybe like using Mage Hand if I can to just help clear a path as well if we need to.
Okay. Luven?
I'm trying to just observe what she's doing with the hunting traps, because, it's a form of machinery, so it's interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like hide it or anything either, so.
Okay. So, Luven, Elaine, no need for rolls on your end because you're not doing anything particularly dangerous with the hunting trap yet.
Oh gosh.
Yet.
Yeah.
Nissa, Auric, either you can give one person advantage or both of you can roll perception.
I think we should both probably roll perception.
Okay. Go ahead.
Ooh,
I'm glad you had a good roll.
it's better than I usually roll.
We'll go with Auric first.
8.
Okay. Nissa?
15.
Okay. So as you're moving about, there are a couple of times that you quickly cast Mage Hand and pull a branch aside that was going to slap Auric in the face. But you make your way towards where the notations are saying that there are these tunnels in the ground. As you are moving, Nissa, you hear some motion coming from off to your left. Whatever it is sounds pretty large. It's making some heavy footfalls. Elaine, actually, you're noticing this as well as you're kind of initially like fiddling with the traps, making sure they're set that you can just plant them, set them, and go.
Okay.
But you do catch some movement in the brush off to your left as well.
I would immediately, like reach out one hand, tap Nissa, and then like stop and hold up that same hand for Luven, like hold.
Yeah, you see Nissa's kind of already...
Already stopped, yeah.
You would realize, like, oh, she notices it too.
Did she stop Auric, or is he still tromping off?
You did say, guys, so it's up to you, Auric. Are you still moving?
No, if I heard them say something, I would probably stop.
Okay, so...
Plus I'd use Mage Hand, tap him on the shoulder. Stop.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so Elaine, currently you hear this motion coming off in the brush. Nissa, you see kind of some of the leaves shift and move as something's kind of moving closer towards you guys.
I'd kind of not like hunch down, but like bend down just enough and like use my free hand, point to Luven and point to the traps that I'm setting on the ground to show him like, hey, I'm putting them down right here. And then I'm going to use my other hand to just draw my scimitar and what kind of wait.
What are the rest of you doing? Luven, Auric, you don't hear anything.
I think I would try and make my presence less known. Like, kind of try and be a little stealthy.
Okay. Luven?
I prepare a dodge action.
Okay. I mean, you can just keep taking the dodge action if you want for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nissa?
I'm going to pull my short sword and just ready myself just in case, but I'm also trying to be extremely quiet.
What are you readying?
Can I just... do I need to prepare disengage? Or dodge or something along those lines? I'll just do that.
I mean, you can ready the dodge action just like Luven is, which is just... what is the trigger for the dodge action?
If whatever this thing is, like, pounces towards us, just, like, rushes at us.
Okay. So if this thing comes in to engage with you guys,
Yeah.
you and Luven are both going to take the dodge action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auric, then, meanwhile, go ahead and roll stealth.
At disadvantage.
Yep.
I got a 15.
Okay.
Nice.
So, surprisingly, Auric's pretty quiet. Like, all of his armor just kind of like ching, 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 ching.
Yay, he's learning.
It's because it's quality made.
It's true. True story.
Yeah. Well, it's the excuse all the other times.
Large dwarven feet.
So, as you are all waiting, you initially see just a pair of eyes kind of start to break through the brush, and a large black bear starts to approach you as it just...
Do I understand its grunts?
So, you get the impression of, like, food, hungry, food. Is it kind of like sniffing towards you and just hunkers down a little bit?
Okay. I will quickly sheathe my scimitar and then like kind of hold out a hand to the rest of the group like, hey, it's just hungry. Hold on. I'm going to reach in my pack and pull out some rations and
Okay.
lob them at the bear. Like, not at its head, like at it right in front of it.
Roll dexterity,
Oh, no.
just because you're basing this off sound.
Oh, yeah, you can't see.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. The rest of you all see Elaine take some dried meats out, aim it, and does a quick, short lob towards this bear, and it smacks the ground right in front of it.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
As it's just... and you see it just start to eat the food.
And with that, I motion, keep moving.
Walking away slowly.
Yep.
Okay.
I pick up the traps again.
Pick up the traps.
And keep moving.
You see it pick its head up and watches you, leans back down, keeps eating.
Okay. Let's go. We've appeased the bear.
Scuttle, scuttle.
Scuttle, scuttle,
You
scuttle.
have appeased the hungry black bear.
Sweet.
Good job.
We're so good at this, guys.
So, you press forward and eventually arrive at a small clearing with a single hill that rises up without any trees. This is where you had read that the tunnels are supposed to be.
Do we notice anything around, like maybe trails from somebody entering or leaving?
Roll a survival check. Elaine, I will say you were noticing, of course, animals, the sound of little skittering critters and birds and all that as you were coming up. You don't notice that sound anymore.
Oh, he's here. Ugh.
What's the survival check?
7.
Looking around, you can't find anything.
Orc, which way are we going?
Do I know which way based on the notes?
The notes just lead you here.
I'm not sure. The notes weren't clear as to exactly where it is, just that it's in the general vicinity. And I'm not seeing anything.
What if you ask for that guidance thing?
Sure, does anyone else want to look?
I could try.
You can't see anything human.
I could try.
You just see me go, like, stick my tongue out.
Oh,
Yes,
I do see
he
that.
does see it.
Oh, yeah, he does.
So did Nissa say that she was going to look?
Yeah.
Alright, I will cast guidance on Nissa.
Okay.
Okay, Nissa, roll a survival check and you can add a d4.
7.
Hey, that's what I got.
Nissa's looking around. You don't see anything.
That was with the D4.
Oh.
You know what? I'm just gonna look too. I don't
I will
expect anything.
Cast
but-
guidance on Luven.
Do I look with disadvantage?
You would look at disadvantage. So, Luven?
11.
23.
I kind of hate you right now.
So, Luven, you're looking around and you're not seeing anything either. As Elean kind of like almost drops fully to the ground and begins to put her hand across the grass and brush and starts to slowly make her way. And Elean, you feel the slight change in the dirt from someone having walked here recently and begin to kind of get the feel of, you know, the footprint and get a sense of the direction. And Elean just starts wandering off, by the way, guys, as you're all looking for these tracks or anything. And all of a sudden, Elean, as you're kind of coming around the other side of the hill that the rest of your party had been just looking and looking and looking, you put your hand on a spot on the ground and it suddenly just sinks in as dirt kind of falls away and you feel air and start to press and realize a small tunnel is there.
And I do like the motion with my hand, like this way.
You guys look and she's staring in the wrong direction from you initially.
But I found it.
But she found it.
Wait. Which way is that again? Show off?
Well, no, she's staring in the wrong direction, but she's pointing to the right
But
spot.
I'm pointing to the right spot.
She's just not looking at us and thinks that she is. Oracle give a humph.
Can't see anything. So I'm at the entrance of the tunnel that like kind of does it head kind of straight down almost?
It seems to be angled downward, kind of a 45-degree angle down.
Okay.
As the rest of you come up, you can look down and you notice it does start to curve in what seems to be a spiral about 20 feet in. It is kind of a tight squeeze, except for Nissa.
Before we go in, now that everybody's standing, I'm assuming they're within distance I can actually see now because I'm not blind.
I mean, you're close.
You can see still at night after your
Actually,
eyes
no,
adjust.
you technically can't see because dark vision actually only gives you shades of gray. You would be considered blind. However, they're close enough that you can kind of tell that they're there.
Nissa's making rude gestures.
You can kind of tell that. I mean, you know Nissa well enough by now.
Yeah, I can feel the rude gestures. I would lay down the traps and point to Orc. We should set these here at the entrance.
Do we want to set all of them or just some of them? Maybe set some further in?
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll set my 2 here then if you want, and then we can put yours in a little further.
Where do you want the poison? On these two or the ones further in?
I think the poison should go on the last line of defense, so these ones.
or further in so the poison starts working quickly.
Good point. I'm going to go ahead and start setting my 2 traps and let them decide where they want to put the poison.
Okay. So you're setting them before you guys enter the tunnel?
Setting 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, behind
The
us.
tight squeeze. Okay. So you will be setting them as everyone else has entered the tunnel.
Basically, yeah.
Just want to make sure that you're not setting them so people have to carefully clamber
I could
over
lift
these
them
traps.
over the stinking traps if I needed to.
But they wouldn't then fit in the tunnel except Nissa. It's a tight squeeze. Like if you want to literally place the trap at the entrance.
Okay. Yeah, I want to place it at the entrance so that basically, if you don't know it's there, there's a 95% chance you'll step on it.
Okay.
I'm going to save my poison for the ones further in.
Okay.
All right. So is anyone assisting Elean on hiding the traps?
I'll cast guidance.
Okay. So roll a survival check with the guidance.
I'll help her as well.
Okay. Roll with advantage then, Elean.
26.
As everyone starts to enter in, Luven kind of helps you, create spots for them, and you start to gather some of the brush and all that, and carefully set the traps and place the spikes, and it looks like grass.
That's right.
If you didn't know, it doesn't look like there's anything there.
Oh, there are blades, all right.
Yep. So, marching order.
I'll be at the back.
Luven, that would actually put you right in front of her just because you were helping.
Okay.
So that just leaves Auric and Nissa. Are you in front or second?
I was going to ask if Nissa wanted to go in front in order to be able to scout.
Yep, can do.
Okay. So you moving a little bit ahead of everybody else?
Yep.
All right. Nissa, you can move freely in this tunnel.
Yes.
Everyone else has a little bit of trouble.
Is there enough room that if she needed to squeeze behind me, she would be able to?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of your bulkiness, you are kind of blocking most of the tunnel, so not a lot could get past you. Nissa, are you being quiet or are you just moving ahead?
I'm being quiet.
All right. Roll a stealth check for me, please.
Natural 1.
Oh.
So you are proceeding down. You're slip and sliding a little bit. While you're able to move freely, the tunnel is not very worn. So your footing is not steady. Everyone else is kind of able to stay on their feet a bit just because they're
Wedged in.
a little wedged. And because of the angle and everything, you're kind of sliding a little bit as you're trying to be quiet and stealth ahead. The tunnel just continues to spiral and go further and further down. Minutes begin to pass. Almost an hour goes by. What else are you guys doing during this? Are you just making your way down?
I mean, trying to perceive to see if we either see or hear anything further up ahead.
And after
Okay.
we head down a good distance, I would be like,
Okay.
"Psst, do we want to lay more traps?
We should probably lay a few more.
So I will stick out my hands and probably maybe smack Luven in the shoulder a little bit because I can't see, waiting for traps because I'm at the back. So I'm assuming they want
Yep.
to hand them back to me.
I'll hand mine to start.
Okay. Do we just want to do one or do we want to do more?
I say do 2. That way we have a better chance of trapping whoever goes through.
Okay. I'm not even going to try to hide these. Just place them because it's narrow and yeah.
And now I unstopper my vial and I apply the poison.
Okay. So you apply the poison to both of these?
Yes, I do.
All right. So
This is not going to bite us in the butt.
anything else you guys are doing during this much longer trek down than you kind of anticipated as you're starting to feel the night kind of begin to press on you a bit?
I am muttering gnomish curse words.
Luven understands you.
Oh! Oops.
Yes, but does he know those words?
I mean, you know Gnomish, but let's go with no because you are super innocent.
Hey, is that gnomish?
I jump a little, because I was kind of muttering them to myself. I look back at Luven like, oh, you know gnomish?
Yeah, but I've never heard those ones. Maybe you can teach me sometime.
Yeah, maybe over a drink or two later, yeah.
And Nissa, maybe stop with the cursing.
I like how Elean is assuming.
But I'm assuming with my insight, I'd be able to tell that that's definitely cursing.
I mean, your natural insight is okay, so...
But I also know Nissa.
You also were a sailor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll give that to you because you were a sailor, specifically.
Luven writes these down, so he doesn't have the context for the curses, but he now knows curse words in gnomish.
If you all are done yammering, we should probably get on our way. And try and be quiet about it.
I can't exactly go faster than you guys.
Can I try and cast guidance on Nissa so that she can...
Yeah, you can make one more stealth check as you're hitting the end of this.
Can I make stealth as well from the back?
Yeah, you can be stealthy. Any of you can try to be stealthy.
Yes, Auric would like to try and be stealthy.
Okay, so you and Luven are both at disadvantage if Luven is trying as well.
I'll try. Sure.
Nissa, you have guidance.
Thank you.
So we will go in marching order. Nissa.
24.
Nice.
That's better.
That's better.
Auric.
6.
Luven.
12.
Elaine.
10.
Okay. Luven's being surprisingly quiet. Auric sounds the same. Elaine, you're a little quieter.
I can't see. I can't help it.
But you kind of stop hearing Nissa altogether. You know she's ahead of you, but you don't hear her anymore.
Yeah.
As she stopped cursing and seemed to simply vanish.
I actually went underneath your legs and crawled behind you and back up out of this tunnel. Bye.
Bye.
Then you hear ka-chink.
And more gnomish cursing.
Yep.
Much louder this time.
Yep.
I have curiosity. What footprints are you leaving, Nissa? Since you have the boots of false tracks.
Ooh, I can leave different footprints, can't I?
I'm just curious because I just wanted to remind you could.
I thought about these boots last session, actually. I'd kind of forgotten. Did it have to be of a similar size to me?
Nope, just humanoid.
Just humanoid.
So you can literally be constantly shifting what footprints you're leaving.
Ooh,
If you really wanted.
Yeah, I do.
So Elaine in particular would notice this as like, what is happening? You are continuing down, and eventually, Nissa, the tunnel opens up a little bit more, and you come to what looks to be a partially buried hallway that leads directly towards a set of stairs that are spiraling downward.
I would like to pause and check for traps, please.
Okay. Roll an investigation.
16.
Okay. You're looking around. It seems clear.
Okay.
You're not noticing anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, I will proceed.
All right. You do hear your party maybe a minute or two behind you at most.
Okay.
All right. So you begin to descend the stairs. It does not take as long to go down this little tunnel. The rest of you are hitting this corridor too. You don't see Nissa, but you do see the stairs at the other end. I'm assuming you continue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Nissa, as you reach the base of the stairs, it just takes a couple minutes. And going downward, you notice what look like partially collapsed hallways that you see of the end as things have just crumpled over time as you hit a couple of different landings. And you eventually hit the base that opens up to what seems to be the bottom floor. And you see a very large room with a vaulted ceiling, partially collapsed on one side. And ahead of you, you see a large stone door. Stone columns hold up this ceiling that are kind of cracked and broken a bit. The door on the other side looks like it is partially open.
I will take a look, check for any traps, and then I'm going to wait for the party to catch up with me before proceeding.
Okay. Roll investigation.
It's same again, 16 again.
Okay. Looking around, you don't see anything. After a couple minutes, the rest of them hit the bottom of the stairs, and you now can stretch your backs and shoulders, having been hunched for almost an hour.
Maybe we should set the last traps around here.
Elaine holds out her hands again.
I will hand over my 2 traps.
I instinctively duck this time.
I will set them both right at the door, right at the base of the stairs, basically, that we just came down.
Oh, I think an hour's passed since I pulled my draught, so I have a new healing draught now.
Okay. Yeah, an hour has passed since you pulled it. So, what would you guys like to do? You have these 2 traps set at the entrance. The door is maybe 30 feet from you guys. It stretches about 25 feet into the air. It is very large. The stone seems to have been just worn away. It has what looks like might have been old depictions of something, but it's hard to tell.
How big did you say the room was?
The room itself is about 30 by 20. The ceiling, though, is about 40 feet above you.
Ah.
But Elaine, as you kind of are stepping down, you can tell it's big based off of the sounds of, your footsteps echoing off the walls, but
Yeah, but I can't actually see.
not currently.
Okay.
You said that the door was slightly ajar?
It looks like it's partially open from where you're standing. I'm assuming Nissa kind of started looking around a little bit and she noticed it open, but unless you guys get closer, there's not much you can tell from where you're at.
After I set the traps, I'm going to turn around and kind of just cautiously reach out to hopefully touch one of my party members. I'm assuming maybe Luven might be the closest still. And then just kind of gently grab onto the back of his clothes.
Okay. You do eventually grab, like, the back of his cloak.
And I'm just gonna be like, give like a little tug, like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Can we try and, like, peek into the door, like, through whatever opening currently is, see if we see anything, either like a light or...
From where you're at, you kind of look towards it, and there's something that's flickering. So there is some sort of light source, but whatever it is seems extremely distant, but it's a very thin gap. Like, you can just see through it. Like, you would have to push it if you want to actually go through the door.
Can we move up close to it and then kind of peep through?
Okay, go ahead and roll perception now that you're up to it.
Natural 20. So that would be a 23.
Nice.
Okay. So, Auric, as you are coming up to the door, you peek through, and there's definitely some sort of light that is kind of flickering. You're seeing more of it like bouncing off of stonework, and it's what the reflection is way off in the distance. So whatever this light source is quite a ways away. One thing, though, that catches your attention is the sound of... Anytime you were to cool metal, you hear this steam and this almost screeching sound kind of come up from the cooling metal. And you hear that just occasionally every couple of seconds, just and faintly in the back, you think you hear some sort of metal object being hammered.
I'll kind of relay that to the group that I think I hear the sound of something possibly being hammered or forged. One other thing I'd like to do, because I just realized that I have it, is can I make some kind of history check as to the stonework that we are surrounded by?
I was waiting for this. Yes, you can roll a check, which you get double proficiency for your history check for this.
Yes.
Because stone.
Because
and dwarf.
stone and dwarf.
Sweet. So a 22.
Nice.
Wow, good roll.
It was.
What are you trying to determine based off of your roll?
I guess I'm trying to determine maybe who built this, what the purpose may have been for, if there's any kind of, like, telltale signatures, like, this was built by the stout folk, therefore I could expect these kinds of things in it, or this was built by elves, therefore they're known to do this kind of thing.
Okay. As you're studying it, you definitely get kind of a dwarvish craftsmanship out of the stone. It's really hard to tell. And your clan's own fascination with making things, masonry, smithing, all of that, you can tell that this is thousands upon thousands of years old. Not everything, though, seems dwarvish. It definitely, you notice some elvish influence as well. In some of the cuts and the markings are much more, I'm trying to think of the right word, but fine. Compared to a dwarf's like very pristine cuts, it's much smoother and rounder, which tends to be more of an elvish style. Dwarves have much sharper edges, but that's still cut straight. So it seems to be a combination of an elvish and dwarvish type of architecture to it. Based off of that and what your understanding of like this doorway, this definitely seems to be like a gate to this city or this town or some sort of settlement that they had at this time.
Can I, based on my knowledge of history and dwarvish customs and whatnot, would I be able to infer whether or not it was like one city that was built on top of another city, or if it was some kind of collaboration?
Based off of your role, this looks like some sort of collaboration, like dwarves and elves worked together to make this. Based entirely off of the history check that you did, the cuts and everything about it look to be the same age.
Okay. Would I know whether or not this kind of collaboration work is common or rarely or never heard of?
You haven't heard of this.
Okay.
Not specifically, like, you know, dwarves and elves have worked together, but not this long ago. You don't know of anything from this long ago.
Okay. And would I be able to tell the difference between the craftsmanship of like a Duragar versus Drow versus elf versus dwarf?
With that roll, no, due to the fact of how long ago this was. It's so long that the Duragar and Drow had not split from the dwarven clans and the elvish people.
Got it.
It's before the split.
Okay. I'll try and like briefly relay some of that information. Obviously, they don't necessarily care about all of the intricate details of the stonework, but...
Elean is glazed over.
Luven's in tourist mode, so he's completely interested in what you have to say, Mr. Tour Guide.
Nis is busy making different kinds of footprints.
Elaine, as you guys are coming up to the door and everything, there is like that tingle that you get at the back of your neck of just something wrong with this place. Because of your attachments to nature and everything, there is something unnatural about this place.
I will definitely keep that to myself. But as Oric starts going into his, this lovely stuff, I'm like, shh, keep it simple. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay. So what are you guys doing? There's this nice heavy stone door in front of you.
I can't see
partially
anything.
Open.
So I'm waiting for the rest of the party.
Actually, considering how dark it is, Elaine, you can tell that there is light somewhere past the doorway.
So I see like the flickering.
That's all you see. So you can tell that there is light since that is the only light source that you currently have anywhere in the vicinity.
I would, if I can, definitely see a little flicker of the light after a few moments of Oric like talking. And by the way, you see Elaine doing the hand motion, like, all right, keep it up. Let's go. Hurry up. Come on. Like, get through your spiel. Let's go. She's also with the hand that's holding onto the back of Luven's cloak, gonna kind of like nudge him at first kind of subtly in the direction, like, keep it moving, pal. And then after a few minutes, like a little bit more forceful, like, let's go.
Like you're almost pushing Luven into the door.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, but let me just finish this last sentence.
Okay. So are you trying to push the door open?
Yes, but quietly.
Yes, with Luven's face. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm
so
not.
first, then I would like an athletics check.
From...
Who is pushing the door open?
I can.
Okay.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Yes.
I will do that.
Can I assist
That
him?
is the beautiful things about... Yes, you can
If
assist
they
him.
point my hands in the direction, I'll start pushing.
Well, you started feeling like Luven not moving anymore, and you know it's not just because you were, he was resisting you. So you can assist him. So, Oric, you have advantage on the roll.
I got a 23.
Nice. So, Oric, it is heavy. You are not going to be able to push this super quietly.
Oh.
You do notice that right away before you push. I'm assuming you continue, though.
Yeah, I will relay that to the party that this is not going to open quietly. I can open it, but it will not be quiet. I would try and do the absolute minimum that it would take for us to just kind of squeeze in.
Okay.
I can try and time the opening of the door with the cadence of the hammer to maybe drown it out.
You have noticed, one, that the hammer has not changed at all in its rhythm.
Okay.
It's continuous this entire time. So, based off that, as soon as you hear clang, you wait and push, clang, push, clang, push, clang. So you're fairly confident that you got it in rhythm with the hammer.
Sweet.
The rest of you do kind of hear like the grind sound each time he pushes
I
start to
cringe
echo off a little.
so hard.
But he opens it just enough that you can squeeze through the opening.
Do we want to push it back closed?
I'm gonna say no.
Well, my thought is this. Anything that can slow us down can also slow the spellweaver down. And we had a hard time opening the door. He might also.
Oh yeah, with his 6 arms. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean he's strong. I saw how skinny his neck was.
He's incredibly thin from what you can tell. Like every arm is like bone thin. It's skin wrapped around bone from what the looks of it.
I think we should avoid trying to make any more noise than we absolutely have to.
Okay, let's go. Continue on.
Okay. And that is where we're going to leave this episode for today.
Thank you all for listening. Please share this with your friends and follow us on Twitter at RulesAsWritten. Or check out our website, dndraw.com, and feel free to email any questions to our wonderful DM Tony at dm@dndraw.com. Also subscribe and leave us a review or comment anywhere podcasts are found, and please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dndraw. Thanks, and see you all next time.